Hi everybody, today on Political Excess, it's going to be Joe Biden for the Democrats up against Asa Hutchinson for the Republicans. And we're going to do this one because Asa Hutchinson has announced he intends to seek that GOP nomination. I don't think he has a chance. So let's see what would happen if he actually got into this race. We know all about Joe Biden, so what about Asa Hutchinson? He was the governor for 2 terms of Arkansas. He's in his 70s, and although I don't know everything about this guy, there were some moments where he pushed back on some of what Donald Trump wanted to do, so that's going to anger some of the Trump base. But for the most part, I think he just lines up with a typical standard conservative Republican. He'd probably do fairly well with the evangelicals, similar to Mike Pence. But as far as excitement and charisma, I don't think he really has any. But at the same time, I don't think Joe Biden does either. So Asa Hutchinson would have to get his name recognition up. I'm assuming he does a little bit, but it's going to be tricky. Biden would be the incumbent. Everybody knows who he is. So let's quickly go through these states. We'll talk a little bit more about it at the end. Alaska, that will still be over 10 points safe for Hutchinson. Hawaii, that's going to be safe for Biden. Back up to the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, and California, those are going to be safe for Biden. No surprise there. Now we've got Nevada. This is a purplish state, and with Hutchinson on the ballot, some of the Republican voters that were repulsed by Donald Trump, they would come back to the Republican Party and support your typical GOP candidate. But I think far more of the Trump base would say they're not going to come out and vote for this guy at all. And meanwhile, on the other side, they're just going to support Biden to support him or vote against any Republican. So that's going to hurt Asa Hutchinson, and I do have Biden winning this by a leans margin. Idaho, Utah, safe for Hutchinson. In Arizona, again, I don't think Hutchinson is going to be able to make up the deficit of Trump voters he's going to lose with Republican voters that have left the party. I don't think it's going to happen, and I think Biden would win this by 1 or 2 points, so leans for Biden. Montana, Wyoming, safe for Hutchinson. Colorado, that'll be double digits, safe for Biden. New Mexico, likely for Biden. North and South Dakota, safe for Hutchinson. Nebraska at large, safe for Hutchinson. The 2nd District, that will be leans for Biden. Kansas, like Utah, they like their establishment Republicans, and Hutchinson would do well here, even though it might be trending toward the left. It's going to go safe for Hutchinson. Oklahoma, also safe for Hutchinson. How about down in Texas? I think everything considered, it would all even out, and Hutchinson would still win this by an over 5-point likely margin. Let's go up to Minnesota. That's going to be likely for Biden. Iowa, that'll still be over 5 points likely for Hutchinson. Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, safe for Hutchinson. Let's go up to Wisconsin, and I think Hutchinson, here's where the wheels kind of come off. Even if he does 1 or 2 points better in the suburbs from some of those voters that come back to the Republican Party, Milwaukee and Dane County, they're coming out for Biden, and the rest of the state, the driftless area, the rural red counties, there's just not going to be enough of them to put Hutchinson over the top, so Biden would win this by 2, 3, maybe even 4 points. Illinois, safe for Biden. Now we've got Michigan. This, I think, would crack 5 points, maybe even 6 points for Biden. Indiana, safe for Hutchinson. Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, safe for Hutchinson. Now we've got Florida, and we know the state has trended toward the right, and in this matchup, I think it would get down to low single digits. Hutchinson still wins it, but I think it would only be about 1.5 to 2.5 points. Let's go up to Georgia. This is a state where those deep red counties, they're not going to give their full support to Hutchinson. The suburbs around Atlanta, in Cobb and Gwinnett counties, I think they would just stick with Biden at this point. If they were to come back to the Republican Party, there's not going to be enough of them for Asa Hutchinson. So the state will go leans for Biden, probably 2 to 3 points. South Carolina, safe for Hutchinson. North Carolina, probably 1 to 2 points, leans for Hutchinson. Let's go up to Ohio. I think this will be about 4.5 to 5 points, leans for Hutchinson. West Virginia, safe for Hutchinson. Let's go up to Maine at large. This will be high single digits, likely for Biden. The 1st District, safe for Biden. The 2nd District, this I still think will tilt toward Hutchinson, but I think it would be by under 1 point. New Hampshire, that'll go 5.5 to 6 points, likely for Biden. Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C., all safe, over 10 points for Biden. Now we've got Pennsylvania. This is not going to be a surprise. It's going to go leans for Biden. The margin would probably be 3 to 4 points. And finally, the last state is Virginia, and that goes likely for Biden. And there's your final total. That's 303 for Joe Biden, 235 for Asa Hutchinson. Biden wins it. It's not really all that close. Hutchinson, I just think he's a weak candidate. The margin even goes down to leans in Ohio. It goes likely in Michigan. And some of these other states do get much closer. North Carolina and Florida. Those I can't even guarantee wouldn't flip, but I think they're red enough Biden is not the strongest candidate in Hutchinson. He may be weak, but he's not the weakest candidate, and those two states would stay red. Other than that, a big unknown is how would Asa Hutchinson actually run his campaign? I don't know what issues he would actually run on. Again, he probably seems like he would be similar to Mike Pence. He would kind of run on traditional family values and trying to get government out of our lives, except to maintain those traditional values. And I don't think that's really going to play well. I think Hutchinson would collapse in the Rust Belt. Those voters, at least as of now, they're really only going to come out for Donald Trump or somebody in that populist Republican direction that's not Asa Hutchinson, even though Biden, I don't think he's really that strong of a candidate. He's very old and he has low charisma. But I think at this point, Democratic voters are going to stick with it until it stops working. And Biden would just have all the establishment behind him. He would have a lot of corporations and media backing him up. Nobody is going to want to portray Asa Hutchinson as the guy who's going to take down Biden. And I don't think he could take him down anyway. He's not an economic populist. He's not a cultural populist, unless maybe he has another side to him that I just haven't really looked into yet. So this election is going to go for Biden. It's not a total landslide, although Biden wins a ton of these states. A lot of them are within 3 or 4 points, so it's nothing overwhelming, but this just speaks to how weak Asa Hutchinson really is. If he's going to lose this badly to Biden, but maybe I'm underestimating Asa Hutchinson. Maybe he would actually do better than I think, but I would suspect there's not going to be a lot of Asa Hutchinson fans in the comments, but if there are, definitely let me know. So I don't think there's any saving this for Asa. Even if Donald Trump was his running mate, that's not going to be enough. Hutchinson would have had to have ran back 20 or 30 years ago to have any kind of a shot. Biden, I think, would be likely to win this. It's not 100%. You never know what the national environment could do to an election, what health issues could do, and if there's any pressing issues at the time, maybe that does flip a few of these states. Who knows how it would actually go, but this is what I settled on at this point in time. And let me know in the comments, do you mostly agree with this map, or do you disagree with 3 or 4 of these states? Maybe 8 or 9 of these states? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.